I'm really happy with this first year of making videos. One video per week is a great way to get started, not too difficult, builds a bit of rhythm. Although I didn't really stay as consistent as I wanted, and I didn't really put the quality into the videos that I would have hoped to have achieved. So the next year, my plan is to upload between 2 and 7 videos per week, which means I'll end up uploading a total of somewhere between 100 and 365 videos. I'm also going to aim to do like a 1% improvement per video, so that I can start to see results between the videos. I think an easy idea to do this is make at least one not cringe moment per video, and then the next video make at least 2 moments that aren't cringe, 3 moments that are not cringe, 4 moments that are not cringe, and just build upon it like that. I think that's one of the easiest ways to make improvement. Instead of trying to be a perfectionist, just try to include scenes that aren't cringy and are worth the time watching. So yeah, this last year of my life, just been working, save money, earn money, and I'm going to be moving back to Portugal actually to live with my family. Have to pay much less rent, don't have to worry about maintaining living costs, and I get to focus full time on trying to kickstart a video editing career as a freelancer. That's the goal that I want, is to make video editing a living. Of course, to do that, I do need to, spend some time working on it, but I also don't want to just spend infinite amount of time trying and not getting there. So if I'm not a freelancer by the end of 6 months to 1 year, if I'm not a freelancer by 1 year, I'll just go back to doing a normal job. But yeah, that's the time frame I'm giving myself, somewhere between 6 months and 1 year, make myself a freelancer making at least minimum wage so that I can make a living editing videos. I do look forward to taking this video editing career opportunity seriously, and I hope to build a life that I would love to live. On that note, what will my year look like while I'm in Portugal? So as I pointed out in my last video, some of the books that I've read recently have really just changed my mind on the ideas that I've had on how to live the life I want. And so with the recent books that I've read, I've managed to simplify it down, condense it into what really matters. So with that, I'm just going to get this page open. So what I've got is my plan for Portugal, and I wrote down rules that I need to follow every day. So what do these rules look like? First rule is to follow the rules. A bit meta, probably a bit useless, you would say, but I think it's a very, very important reminder that I am actually following rules. So first thing is to follow the rules. Second thing is to be the best friend to my 30-year-old self, which means that millisecond, that last second that I go from 29 to 30, that moment in time, think about it. Where are you in that moment? In my case, I'm thinking I want to be in the best position I can possibly be. Now that's just over 6 years into the future for me. I'm about to turn 24. So for 6 years, if at all of those moments during those 6 years, I take a pause and I say, what can I do now that would make 30-year-old me, the moment I turn 30, make that the best version of me that I can possibly can, and use that to guide my decisions. When I can say, oh, in this moment I can either do this or do that, prioritize 30-year-old me. So that's the first important rule. Prioritize my 30-year-old self, make my actions guided towards a better future me, which does mean quite often sacrificing my present. I might have to give up on treating myself to a relaxing moment in the present and working harder, but I know when I'm 30, I'm just going to look back and think, wow, I really was my best friend. Next one is to work 6 days a week and rest 1 day a week. Now you're probably thinking, oh no, that's too much work. Now, for me, it's important to build a rhythm with it. It's also important to rest. So that means that when you're on your rest day, you're not working, not even for 1 second. It's your day that you don't think about work for 1 second. But when you are working, you're building that consistency, that routine. That is important. I will allow myself 1 week of holiday per month to make up for that. So that's a total of 12 weeks of holiday in a year. 3 months off in a year, that's pretty good. So if I want, I can save 2 or 3 months in a row, get 2 or 3 weeks of holiday, bang that all together, do whatever I want, have like a spring holiday, summer holiday, autumn holiday, however I decide to plan it. But yeah, I will give myself 1 week off every month if I decide to. Then also, into the daily details of it, I want to focus on my mental health first and foremost. I believe that irregardless of my physical health, irregardless of my financial status, irregardless of where I am on the planet or the conditions around me, I need to take care of my mental health first and foremost. So the first priority for me is fixing my sleep. My best idea for fixing the sleep is not to have an alarm to wake up, but to have an alarm for when to go to sleep. I'm going to have an alarm that goes off around sunset every day to get my mind used to the idea, hey, it's probably time to go to bed soon. And then just allow my body to naturally get as much rest as it needs. If it's 7 hours, it's 7. If it's 10 hours, it's 10. I know it can change on a daily basis, but the idea of not waking up with the sun or not waking up with an alarm clock, but truly just letting myself wake up whenever my body feels like it's fully rested, I want to do that. Get as much sleep as I can, and then also practice meditation every day. Even on my rest day, I will meditate. I'm also going to start practicing yoga. I want to start taking yoga lessons, start learning Kundalini yoga, either practicing with myself or with a yoga partner. I want to really get into yoga. Wim Hof breathing method, something that I've been neglecting for these last few months, almost a year actually, that I've been neglecting it. It does cause some physical stress, but the relief that it brings afterwards is immense, and it really reduces your overall stress in life. So that's something I want to be practicing more often. And doing nothing, which a lot of people think is a complete waste of time, when the truth is that doing nothing will get you much closer to a peaceful state of mind than anything else that you can do right now. You might think that you might feel more peaceful by mindlessly browsing social media, watching Netflix, eating food. No. If you just sit down on a cushion and stare at the wall and do nothing, and you sit with that boredom, and you allow yourself to feel that boredom, you allow yourself to feel that fear of waste of time, you allow yourself to feel all of those things, you end up making a lot more progress in that regard. Also going to be improving my diet. I'm going to be cooking a lot more healthy meals, learning more recipes, using fresher ingredients. Luckily in Portugal, much fresher ingredients than England, so I look forward to that. Low carbs. Doesn't mean there won't be carbs, but I'm trying to get rid of as many simple carbs as possible. And when it comes to the complex carbs, use as few as I need. I want one weekly sweet treat, so I'm not going to completely give up on sugars. On my one rest day, I do picture myself going to a restaurant and then ordering a dessert. And I look forward to that, because if that's my only sweet treat a week, I know I'm going to treasure that moment, make that dessert last a long time, and really enjoy every mouthful. And also just, break out the habit of eating sugars every day, which is not healthy whatsoever. And also it plays into the mental health as well, and your whole physical health on all levels, on all accounts. Sugar should be thought of as toxic. So if I allow myself just one sweet treat a week, I'm not completely neglecting it, I still get to enjoy it. Then I'll also try to aim for 0% processed foods, which means don't go for fast food, don't go for chocolates, don't go for easy meals, stuff like that, ready meals. Really start focusing on cooking consistently, eating healthy ingredients. Yeah. And then there's the physical health aspect, of course, diet, of course, being one part of it, but cold showers instead of warm showers, exercising like walking, running, swimming, going to the gym. I can work out at home if I need to. I also want to get into martial arts. I think practicing a martial art could do wonders for my mental health as well. So I do want to take that seriously as well. Then there's also, like I said before, yoga is also a physical thing, but also a mental thing. So it combines a bit of both, really helps. The most important thing, which I haven't talked about yet when I'm going to be living this life, is the video editing aspect. Of course, video editing is a crucial part, an absolutely crucial part. And I'm not only wanting to do it for freelancing, for money, to make a career out of it. I want to do it just for the joy of it, for the pleasure, for the fun of it. I want to work on my own personal projects and just have a good time making videos. And that's what most of the year is going to look like. Reading, there are so many books that I want to read. So many books I want to read. If you gave me an empty room with just the books I want to read, I'd be entertained for a year, at least a year, just reading all those books with nothing else to do. So a lot of time I want to spend reading and building that knowledge. That also includes writing, which, summarizing the notes, any ideas that come to my head, or writing story ideas. I've got some story ideas running in my head. Journaling, I want to start getting really into the habit of journaling every day and making that a really important practice for me. I want to go analog instead of digital. I know that journaling digitally is a fantastic idea, especially if you've got a system that, a second brain outside of your own brain on the computer, if you can just journal there every day. I like the idea of going analog, just getting a pad of paper with a pencil and just journal every day and allow myself to relieve my mind with all the clutter of thoughts, get that out of my mind. Practicing piano, something I'm looking forward to, that I'm very excited about, is practicing piano. I have a keyboard here, but it's pretty rubbish. There's a piano in the building, one of the uni buildings that I can go to, but I don't go often. And most pianos, the keys just don't feel nice for me. I was trained on proper pianos in a proper music school, so I've got a bit of a classical education in it. So I'm wanting to get a nice piano and practice again and just build that up. And it's going to be, of course, featured in my year that's upcoming. You can look for some video clips that will be me playing piano, whether it's meme songs or nice songs, or if I learn enough songs, I could play a 1 hour piano set, make that whole video. I would love to do something like that. I really want to incorporate that idea of, the element of music, which I haven't had in my life for quite a while now. One obvious rule 10, avoid addictions. Like I said already, no porn, no sugar, no YouTube, no weed, no social media, none of those addictions. Get rid of all of them. Then there's, I can't quite see rule 11. This one was an important one. Seek discomfort and explore. Very important message, not to be too overly reliant on my comfort zone. Step outside of it. And the last rule, let me just. Whoops. When bored or unmotivated, do nothing. I already talked about this before, but it's a critically important rule. When you're working on a task and you need to do this task and you know it's the most important task, but you don't feel like doing it, if you give yourself any other alternative, like go on social media, eat whatever you want, talk with a friend, you could distract yourself with anything and not do that task. But if you allow yourself, the only alternative to doing that task is to do nothing, you're overdoing the task, or you're doing nothing. How long are you going to sit there doing nothing before you say, fuck it, I'll work on the task? That's the best rule that you could have. If you're knowing that you need to do something, and even if you're unmotivated and you don't want to do it, you're free not to do it, but you're not allowed to do anything else except nothing if you don't do it. You either work or you do nothing. And once you get bored enough of doing nothing, 10 minutes pass, you still don't feel like working? Okay. An hour passes, you still don't feel like working? Okay. Does 4 hours really pass without you wanting to do that work? I doubt it. So go and do the work. There you go. So that's what the rules are. Just to go over it again, simple. Follow the rules. Be the best friend to my 30-year-old self. Work 6 days, rest 1 day, plus I get 1 week of holiday per month. Take care of my mental health. Take care of my diet. Take care of my physical health. Focus on video editing. I get to read, practice piano, avoid addictions, seek discomfort, and lastly, do nothing if I'm bored. What does a normal day look like when I incorporate all of these things? Well, pretty much like this. My alarm goes off at sunset to signal for me to go to bed. I naturally get the maximum amount of natural rest that I need for my brain to feel nice and fresh. Then I meditate for half an hour in the morning as I wake up, and then I focus on the most important task of the day for somewhere between 2 and 4 hours, however long it takes to do the most important task, whether it's working on a freelancing project for a client or working on my own personal project, or if I've got to deal with finances or it's really important. Whatever the most important task is, do it at the beginning of the day when my mind is at its freshest. After doing between 2 and 4 hours work, give myself a pause. Do a little light physical task. Like I said, go for a walk or maybe a light swim or do some yoga, maybe a bit more meditation. A light physical task as opposed to doing a mental task. You want to bounce mental, physical, mental, physical. Do the physical task, cook a meal, a light, healthy meal, and eat that. Not heavy, because I'm moving into the second part of the day where I do another block of somewhere between 2 and 4 hours of focused task again. This could be most important task 2.0, or it could just be work on personal project. Whatever it is that I classify as work, do that in the afternoon. Hence why I have a light meal, so that I don't feel that post-lunch slump where I feel lazy and that I don't want to do work. After I do the extra 2 to 4 hours work after lunch, intense exercise. Go to the gym, practice a martial art, go for a run, more intense, heavier exercises basically. And after I do that, cook a heavy meal. Now, it doesn't mean that the meal needs to make you feel heavy, it's just where the bulk of the calories that I'm going to get will come from at the end of the day. So really, I don't plan to have breakfast. I'm cutting so that I have a long fasting period of my day. I only have those 2 meals, lunch and dinner is the plan. And yeah, and once I've had, and I'll have snacks between throughout the day, like eating fruits or nuts or something like that, right? So yeah, have a heavy meal, cook that, eat that. And then after that, until I feel tired, until I feel like needing to rest again, gonna read, gonna play piano, and just work on other hobbies and other skills that I want to do in free time. I might want to learn, for example, music production at some point. I could take some courses. I might want to start learning how to be a more professional writer. Maybe there's a course I can take on that. So, use this time as a time for learning and building on myself and just do that. And of course, you don't see at any point this day, like spend 5 hours watching YouTube or eat a chocolate bar, which are habits I'm specifically trying to avoid. So I've got the rule set. I've got what a normal day looks like. I'm very excited for it. Now, a lot of people will hear all of this and think, oh no, this is too much discipline and order, and it's too straight and square, and it's not free enough and chaotic enough, and you don't allow yourself to go with your mood. And I agree entirely. I'm probably not going to enjoy this for the first many, many months that I do this. And I recognize that I'm going to feel in my mood a bit of a slump by falling into this rhythm every day. But as I keep doing this and I keep prioritizing my future self and asking myself, is every decision that I'm making really the best decision that I can make for my 30-year-old self with this structure, with this routine? And the idea in my head is, yeah, 30-year-old me is going to look back and say, I'm really glad I put all the hours in when I was younger and had more energy instead of later and then realizing I've fallen behind. No, I'd much rather reach 30 and say, I'm glad I already put the hours in. So I know I'm in the present while I'm going through this strict routine and disciplined order. I'm not going to enjoy it. Then I also ask myself the question, when I'm 50, what do I want a day to look like when I'm 50? I want an element of mental health. I want an element of diet, physical health. Like, I realize that it's pretty much very similar to how it looks now. Pretty much. That's how I want to spend my days. And I'm really happy that I've got this opportunity to actually do that. And hopefully by the end of it, if I can start making money from the video editing and I can make enough money in a day by doing 3 or 4 hours work for a client, or if it takes longer at the beginning, of course it will. It might take 8 hours of work a day to get the client's work done. But as I reduce that, as I become more professional, as I can up my charges, or however that goes in the future, whatever price per hour I'm getting, there will be a section of the day where it's work, and then the rest of the day I really get to work on myself and develop myself, and I really look forward to that. And of course, I talked about no addictions. On that rest day, I'll allow myself to watch YouTube a little bit. Like I said, I will allow myself to have a treat, a sweet meal. I'll avoid the other addictions, of course. But if I do need to watch a YouTube video, absolutely. It's not like I'm going 100% zero cold turkey on it. I will still allow it a little bit. But yeah, that's the plan for my year. It does look quite strict. I do look forward to seeing just how many videos I can make in the year. I do look forward to the routine of it. And more importantly, and not trying to set up an expectation just for future me to feel disappointed, but I get the impression that 3 months into it, I might not feel like I'm in the rhythm of it. 6 months into it, I might still not feel like I'm in the rhythm of it. But I don't doubt that after 9 months, 12 months of doing this, I think I'm going to have a good routine and a good order going. And I'm very curious to see what, roller coaster direction my life takes. I'm excited for it. I know things that I could never have predicted could happen, and I look forward to it. All right. Thank you very much for watching my year 2 plan update. I'm wondering how much of this is going to become accurate and a prophecy foretold, and how much of it is just, none of that happened. I look forward to seeing that as well. And I also find interest not only the beginning of a new year, also we're seeing the end of the last year. Yesterday, to go through all 6 hours of my content and look at this video journey and see what are the most important points that I can take and lessons that I've learned from it moving in forward. I'm just so excited. I'd also like to point out this journey is only starting in September. It's currently July. I've got 2 months, a bit over 2 months until I'm going to be entering this routine properly. So until I get into the routine properly, it's probably going to still be not the best top quality tier videos, but I shouldn't be making excuses for myself. I've got a very crazy life ahead of me these next few weeks, so let's see what happens. Thanks for watching. Peace.